Hey guys, good to have you again, and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we're going to learn how to create 3D CGI ads in Node Video Editor. So with our background already in place, I added the 3D camera and imported the 3D model inside it. Using the 3D model transformation panel, I adjusted the 3D model size to fit the background footage. So let's create the slide-in animation by moving the model off screen. I added a keyframe to mark the start of the animation, and then I added a second keyframe as I slide the model back onto the screen. And here's a quick playback review. So next, I'm going to apply the curve editor to the keyframe to create a smooth animation playback. To learn more about the curve editor panel, check the tutorial link in this video description. And with that done, I added the 2D mesh animation. By adjusting the rows and columns, you can achieve your desired level of distortion and accuracy. I'll add keyframes to the animation property to create the motion graphics I want. I zoom in on the footage to get more control over the mesh. As the model moves, I'll gradually keyframe the mesh. With that done, I added a shape layer to create some shadows below the model. I'll recreate the shape to match our model's shape. Next, I'll change the shape color to black, and then add blending, and change the blend type to multiply. I then recomposite the shape layer, and adjust the size to fit the footage landscape. I'll add keyframes to control the shape movements to match the 3D model motion. So I apply the same ease in, ease out curve to the shape layer keyframe, just as I did with the 3D model movement. Now that we've got that settled, let's add texture to the 3D model. So as usual, adjust the texture size to fit the screen. And now go to the model material, select the model texture, and lastly turn off texture visibility. So I then increase texture reflection and enhance the texture lighting appearance. To enhance the slide-in animation, I'll add directional blur from the effect store. I'll reduce the blur intensity. I then add keyframes to the start and end points of the animation, and also by applying curve to the keyframe to create a smooth transition. To give our footage a cinematic look, I'll quickly add a color LUT. and also added the RGB curve. I tweak the highlights and midtones to bring out details in the image. I'll also add a color LUT to the 3D model to balance the color tone and enhance the overall look of the footage. And with all that, here's a playback preview. To create that motion swing effect, I'm gonna switch the background footage to 3D mode in the transformation panel. Next, I'll add a 3D camera so I can move the footage behind the 3D model. So I'll zoom in and create a basic camera pull-out animation by adding keyframes to the position. I'll also add keyframes to the model position to match the background movement. I then add keyframe to the rotation from the start and end point to create the swing animation. And let's take a look at the playback. Now let's add some effects. I'll go to the effect store, select blur, and add a spot blur to the background footage. I'll reduce the blur amount to my liking. Next, I'll add a raindrop effect from the nature option. So I turned off all special effects, and then increased the intensity and the blur option. I'll also add keyframes to the blur so it fades out when the swing animation stops. Next, I added the droplet feature to create the bubble effect. Tweaking the spread option allows you to control the amount of the droplets effect. Tweaking the position also allows you to move and animate the droplet flow. To make it look even better, I'll change the panoramic texture to the background footage and enable the light option. I then brighten the bubbles with a few tweaks. I'll add keyframes to the droplet's position to create that fall-off effect. Now let's see how it looks. To smooth out the animation, I'll add an ease in, ease out curve. I also added the raindrops effect on the background footage, and this time I only adjusted the blur and strength amount. To add more animation activities, I added the snowflake effect to the background footage. And with all the composition and adjustments, here's the final playback. Hope you learned something new. If you did, hit that like button and see you in the next tutorial. Peace.